Hey everybody, I'm Julie Castle. I'm here at Best Friends Animal Society, here at our sanctuary in Cat World. I'm the CEO and just want to welcome you guys. I know that it's a really crazy time for everybody right now, and I want to share with you before we begin something that I heard on the news yesterday, which I thought was super cool, which is us stopping the term of social distancing and talking about social cohesion and physical distancing, because what we need right now is social cohesion. And so we want to share that with you today and talk about some of the work we're doing and really connect with you guys on our day-to-day work, because even with all this stuff going on, we are still here taking care of the animals. We're taking care of cats, and we're here in Cat World right now. We have 14 buildings here, and this guy is Brigadier, and here in this lobby, we're in Morgan's right now, and a lot of the cats in the lobby here are special needs cats, and we do a lot of cool stuff for them. We do daily physical therapy, we do laser therapy, and we do electroacupuncture, which is really cutting edge stuff for these guys and really gets them back on the road to health and making them feel much, much better. And so what we're gonna do today is introduce you to some of our cat population. And before we do that, I want to introduce you to one of our very, very special staff members. So follow me over here. So this is Pat, and we're practicing physical distancing. So Pat Bandman is one of our team leads. He moved here from Kansas City. And so Pat, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I want to take a tour of the building and talk about some of our kitties in our care.
So I worked in IT for Verizon for 20 years. We came out here for the first time around 2010 and knew right away this is where we wanted to be. We were lucky enough to be at the conference when Julie did her 2025 speech, and that changed our plans just a little bit. We came here much quicker than we had originally anticipated, and it's a dream job. It's absolutely wonderful here. You feel good about coming in every single day. And the cats in this lobby were a pretty good example of some of the things that we get to do, and just feels wonderful, the work that we're doing.
So Pat, let's showcase some of your personalities that you have here. So tell us who this is.
This is Lucy.
So tell us a little bit about Lucy.
So Lucy has, she leaks just a little bit, but she's not really able to go to the bathroom on her own. So she has to be expressed 3 times a day. And Delynn, who we'll meet a little bit later, she does that for her. So she'll take her to the litter box, and they just reach in, they squeeze their bladder, and help them go to the bathroom. She also has the condition that also prevents her from being able to go to the bathroom. If she gets up and walks around, you'll see that she has an odd gait. So she has some muscular conditions. And again, Dylan could probably explain a little bit better than I. But that's the big thing for her. She has to have some help going to the bathroom. She is beautiful, and I should add, she also is on a low-calorie diet. She's on a low-calorie diet because she likes to eat.
And she's got amazing eyes.
Yeah.
She has absolutely gorgeous eyes. Look at that little baby, and a beautiful coat.
Yeah, and just a beautiful color. She's absolutely gorgeous.
So let's move over here, Pat, and talk about this guy. He's taking a nap.
This is Ember, and so Ember has seizures, and she's actually blind due to a seizure at one point in her life, and an absolutely sweet cat. You would have no idea if you came in here that she was blind. She has the complete run of this place. She knows where everything is. She goes into the catio. Again, one of the sweetest cats here. And but you might be able to see her eyes are a little bit, her eyes are dilated. That's one of the things to notice when she's blind.
So Pat, tell us a little bit about the availability for adoption for these guys.
They are, both Ember and all of the ones in here are available for adoption. She really has very little special need is she has to get her medication for her seizures. So you have to make sure you give those to her on a scheduled basis. So we have people that come in super early, people that stay late to make sure that she gets her medications at a spread across the day as much as we can. But other than that, she's perfect. I mean, I don't think she would have any trouble getting around anywhere.
So let's move over here because we've got a really special kitty right here named Cinnamon. And Cinnamon has been getting a lot of extra care these days with daily physical therapy. So
first let's start with, so both Cinnamon has mobility issues. So she cannot walk around on her own. That's why she has these special bowls. When she eats on the floor, they keep them from moving around. And we have these wedges here to kind of, that way when she gets up, it kind of keeps her elevated. She gets physical therapy twice a day. She gets acupuncture with electricity from our doctors. And she has already started to show some progress. Some of the things you might notice, when she came in, her paws were, she's a little bit sensitive in here. Her paws were completely curved in, and so we go through and we extend her joints, doing regular physical therapy, and she now can even move her legs. She does have, because she does get physical therapy and with her joints, she's a little bit sensitive, and the weather can have some bearing on that too. She's generally really, really good for her physical therapy, and she's awesome. The other thing that's pretty amazing about her is that they take her to the litter box, and she goes to the bathroom there. She doesn't go here on her bed. She waits. They have to make sure that we take her there in the morning, and then they do it 3 times a day again. And but she goes to the litter box. She is super amazing. She did have mobility until she was 8 months old, and then slowly it started getting worse and worse. But it has gotten a little bit better since she's been here, and I absolutely love her.
So it's really heartwarming to see how much progress she's made too, because like when I first saw the video of her, her paws were totally just curled under.
Yeah, they were completely curled in. She couldn't even all she could really do was roll over. That was about the only thing that she could do. She now will play with the wand toy when we move it around. She has a bit of motion with her arms. We also do this thing where we bring her up the table and just walk her forward, and she'll take her paws and do it. She just doesn't have the strength to do some of those things quite yet.
So Cinnamon has a little neighbor friend. So Pat, tell us about this guy.
This is Hudson.
Hudson.
And Hudson CH. So he has what would look like balance issues when he tries to walk.
Pat, what does CH mean?
Is it cerebellar hyperplasia? Is that what it is? Cerebellar
Yes.
hyperplasia? And they get it when their mom had, the cat version of Corvo when they were kittens. And Pan-Luke, is that what it's called?
Or distemper, yep.
Distemper, yeah.
It prevents the part of their brain that controls motor skills from developing the way it should.
And he is the best boy. They take him outside 3 times a day. He loves to go outside in the sand. And so that's where he goes to the bathroom. We take him outside and he lays down and he goes to the bathroom outside. He loves being outside. He'll try his best to walk back into the building, which is adorable. He gets up and he'll walk and he'll get his balance. He'll walk as fast as he can. Then sometimes he'll flop over. He's also gotten a lot better here recently. The sand helps him keep his balance, so it's really given him some confidence and strength when he's out moving around. So yeah, he's absolutely the best.
Pat, would you like to show us why maybe Hudson is indoors today and cuddled up on a bed and not outside?
It's a little bit of unusual weather for us today. We have snow and wet, and so whereas Hudson normally goes outside, it's pretty soggy right now, and so
It's one of our classic spring storms that we have in southern Utah. You never know if you wake up if it's going to be 65 degrees or earlier it was really a blizzard condition.
And for a moment today, it was super sunny.
Yeah, that's so true.
The sun came out for just a few minutes.
So we're gonna go to a few other rooms, but on our way there, Pat, I want you to talk about
Look at
This is hot off the press. These new T-shirts, and they're really super cool. So I think that says it all.
Yeah.
6 calls to action there, and
It's got a little the Best Friends logo on the sleeve.
really cool T-shirts there.
Yeah, and it's that super soft material. It's a really nice T-shirt.
Because Pat likes soft
I
material.
do. I love my soft T-shirts.
So Pat, let's go over here, and again, we're in Morgan's, which is one of about 14 buildings here at Cat World. And this particular building, especially in the lobby, we do have a lot of special needs cats that need extra care, and we give them some of the most cutting edge care with acupuncture and daily physical therapy and even laser therapy, which is really incredible. So Pat, let's go
I'm
ahead.
going to ask Delaney to come in with us if you don't mind. She knows these cats better than I do.
So let's introduce Delenn. Delenn, why don't you introduce yourself, let everyone know how long you've been here and where you're from.
So Michigan is still long-term home, but about 12 years ago we had to move to Ohio and started volunteering, came here to volunteer, and 2 years later, here we were, just kind of like that. So both my husband and I work, he's in finance, and I've been in Cat World for almost 8 years now.
So Delenn is a veteran caregiver, and as Pat said, she does a lot of expressing of cats that maybe can't go to the bathroom on their own, and that is a highly skilled, highly valued technique that Delenn does for us. And so Delenn, come on in. Let's
meet our babies. Many of our babies are in here. A few adults.
So let's start here. We've got this really cool little Adirondack chair. Tell us who's in the yellow chair.
That would be Rhubarb, who is not a baby, but came as a mama with kittens and then had some eye surgery. And so then she came in here, was the best room. We try to kind of match up personalities as well, not just necessarily medical-wise, although currently we have 3 kitties with missing eyes and 1 with a missing leg. We call it sometimes the island of misfit kids, but they're all adorable. Missing parts.
So Delenn, talk to us about that. Like when we have a cat that has a missing eye or a missing leg, I mean, they adapt and function incredibly well.
Easily.
And so talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, again, just like Ember out in the lobby, they know how to easily find their way around, and we give them time to acclimate. The newest little girl with one eye was in a different room that had our higher up rafters. And so we didn't really want her being in there once her eye was operated on, so we moved her in here where there's some high places but not as high as in the other rooms. And so she was in here before her surgery and is doing just fine after her surgery. And then we have a new guy who hasn't had surgery yet, and so he's getting acclimated.
So Delenn, tell us who you're holding right now.
Fuzzy Wuzzy, no. This is Kalani, again, came from Ringworm. We transfer in Ringworm kitties from Los Angeles partners, and she had ringworm, she got all better, and then she came to this room to wait for somebody to fall in love with her.
And she's obviously, when I walked in, she was the first one that reached out to me, and she's obviously very friendly and very soft. So she's a sweetheart.
And behind us is our missing leg girl, Annabelle. This one. She's a little shy, so she kind of just hangs out alone. But again, there's a leg missing in there if she stood up. But she gets up and down and easily makes her way around despite she came in with a partial leg that we removed to make it more healthy for her because it had part of a bone sticking out.
So do we know how she lost her leg, or?
Nope, she was brought in by someone with this injured leg.
And is it her front leg, her back leg?
Front.
So she's a tripod and gets around really well, right?
She does.
And Dylan, tell us a little bit about all of these guys, just to remind our viewers, are available for adoption.
Everybody. Yep.
So if you're interested, go to our website. We have our adoption application there. If you've seen somebody that you're falling in love with and you are working from home these days, no better time to adopt. So we have another character over here, Dylan, that just went under your arm. Who's that?
This is Vince, a new kitty from one of the local Utah shelters. Came, yes, I'm talking about you. But again, super friendly, very healthy. Has all his parts except those parts that he doesn't need anymore. So,
meaning he's been fixed, right? He's been altered. So
that's Vince, and he is new to the room. When they first come, they're in these little towers for a couple days. So that's why we have this one tower.
So Dylan, tell us how old you think he is, Vince.
I think we're guessing 2
Two.
years.
He seems pretty young.
Yeah.
So there's this gorgeous kitty behind us that wants to play with a pencil and a Dr. Pepper box, which of course,
Where did she go?
if you have
Oh.
kitties at home, the essentials are Dr. Pepper boxes and milk caps, right? Everyone knows that, and hair ties.
Yeah.
And now we've got pencils in the lineup. So who is this gorgeous
And this is
kitty?
Cap,
Cap?
K-A-P. Also came from one of the local shelters, Southeast Utah shelters, and
And Cap clearly loves pencils and is obviously young, loves to play.
Yeah, a couple of years, and again gets along well. From the day he came in here, he was like, "Okay, I'll be your friend."
And would keep somebody great company right now too,
Yeah.
huh? Or at least keep somebody playing and busy, huh? Right, Cal? Yeah, I'm sure everyone has a pencil and an empty box, and again, those are the essentials. So,
And we have a few more empty boxes in here today, again, because of our lovely weather. Normally, most of the kitties will be outside in our kind of open air spaces, but because of the wetness, we're like, here's some boxes for you to play with this afternoon.
right, and we also have
Very high tech.
old toilet paper or paper towel rolls are an essential toy. Pat, tell us, and Dylan, tell us who this guy is here.
Oh, that's our other eye girl, Persia. So little, her eyes, she's a little shy, but we're not going to put any drops in, babe. Said a lot of eye drops put in, but she just got cleared yesterday that she doesn't need them anymore. But
Oh,
she's
that's terrific. Is she, so tell us what her eye condition is.
often, not often, but periodically in cats, their eyelid is rolled in so that the lashes are rubbing against it. Very uncomfortable for them. And we have some amazing vets here who then can do surgery on that to remove that part of the eyelid that is rolled in with the eyelashes touching. And she's about 4 weeks out post-surgery, and yesterday she had her exam and they said, "Oh, you're great. And you don't have to wear the cone of shame anymore,
Aww.
and you can go play."
And that's a surgery, eye drops, and then eyesight is usually 100%.
Usually 100%.
That's so cool. And she's also available for adoption.
Available for adoption.
So who are these two love bugs up here and that are
Castle
cuddled together?
is our little black guy who is older, 6 years maybe. Again, came from Los Angeles with one of our ringworm transports. but loves cats. Every cat is Castle's friend. And so we kept him in here for the Shire kitties.
Aw.
Because he will almost always be found laying next to one of them, like he was with Patty. Patty's super shy behind him, the gray and white one. But he's like, okay, if I'm by my friend Castle, I can be brave.
So he's a total love bug. Look at him.
Yep.
And what a great idea to bring in a more social extrovert
Amazing.
cat
Yep.
to help cuddle with our more introverted cats. And who's the love bug next to Castle?
Patty.
Patty, and Patty's super shy.
Patty's shy.
And what's Patty's story?
Again, Los Angeles ringworm. All our cats don't come from Los Angeles. But because I also am occasionally working in the ringworm facility, when they're cleared and ready to move, I usually say, can they all come live at Morgan's? Because then I get to continue seeing them often until they're adopted.
So Delynn, for people who might not know about ringworm, tell folks about what ringworm is.
Ringworm is a fungal infection that causes itchiness on their skin. It can be transferred to people, but it is really not a big deal in any way, shape, or form. It's treatable. We routinely treat them for maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks with an external bath twice a week, and then an internal antifungal medicine. And then their sample of their hair is taken every week, put in a special medium that if there's ringworm there, it'll turn color and grow interesting little shapes. And then eventually there isn't any more ringworm, and then they get to go places.
They get to find homes. And I think one of the things about ringworm that's so unfortunate is, it literally is just a fungal condition. It's no big deal. But when they get it in a shelter, it is contagious to other cats, and typically it puts them at risk for, not being adoptable at that moment. And so the chance of them maybe not making it out of the shelter alive is really high. And so for organizations like Best Friends that can take ringworm cats and have the capacity to isolate them, care for them, like Delynn said, for 5 to 6 weeks, and basically get rid of the fungal condition to the point where they don't have it anymore, and then they're highly adoptable cats. And so it's a really great partnership that we have with some of these shelters, and very cool. So tell us about the one with the tail. Check out the tail.
Oh, that she had part of her fur groomed, had a little bit of diarrhea for a while, and because she's so fuzzy, harder to keep that area clean. Mm-hmm. So we have some on-staff people who will groom for us. That was happening today, actually, for some other kitties, and then it'll eventually grow back because she doesn't have any problems anymore.
So she looks pretty precocious. Is she a little love bug? She's another outgoing one,
Yes.
huh?
Yes, and again, gets along with all of...
And look at that little butt.
Cat lost his pencil. He's like, my pencil went under the tower. Could you get it for me?
So how long has she been with us, Delynn?
She came in the fall and then cleared January, probably. And so has been in this building since January.
Right, and she's, how old do you think she is?
Sorry. She's, besides adorable, I think maybe 9 months, 8 or 9 months.
They're so adorable.
They just can't.
So adorable.
They just can't.
So we've got a few others that we want to introduce you to. I don't think we've made it around to this mini tiger.
That's
that we got
Vince.
here.
But
Oh,
our
Vince, okay.
cat Coco down here is our other eye girl.
Oh, right. So tell us about Coco and her eye.
So Coco's entire litter came to us a year ago. So she's been here about a year and a half. The entire litter of kittens had the eyelash. There's an official name.
Entropion.
Yep. So we did surgery on all of them. Several of them were great the very first surgery. After the first surgery, Coco, unfortunately, they kind of kept growing back. So she's recently had the other eye, the one eye removed. And that, you can still see a little bit of a scab there from her healing. But now she is perfectly healthy and ready to grow to her own. She's a super lovable kitty.
She looks very sweet, very, very sweet. How old would you say she is?
So I think she's probably approaching 2 this spring.
Aw, what a sweet baby.
Came to us a year ago
So
last
cute.
summer. And someone should get a picture.
So our person who's holding the iPhone, here, I'm gonna do this. So this is Molly. Molly's one of our photographers, and Molly now has a permanent fixture on her back. Molly, you're just serving as the next best thing to a box.
There you go.
How cute is that? That's so awesome. That's great.
Thanks for entertaining our kittens.
So, so I'm thinking we should go to one more room, introduce a few more cats, and talk about, you know, some of the other really amazing personalities that you have in here.
All right.
So we've got hand sanitizer here before we go from room to room. So this is typically, it's close to feeding time, I guess. So they're gonna think it's time to eat. So we're gonna have a lot of activity in here. So Delynn, tell us about some of your residents here. Who is this?
His name is Famous,
Aw.
who was surrendered by a family. Family situation, couldn't stay with them. And so he has come to be with us. He's been here about a year now, but super lovable guy.
Wow,
I mean,
he
he's a
is.
little older. 10,
So cute.
probably
Beautiful.
10 maybe.
Maybe that's 7.
Yeah, so a few older kitties in this room, and again, sometimes people think, oh, they're not a kitten. But again, if you want somebody who's gonna mostly sit on your lap and say, please could I have some food, go with an adult kitty and we'll get you some. I will get you some very soon.
So we've got this really big fuzzball right here who's obviously waiting for food.
Yes.
And my goodness, you are gorgeous.
This is Taz.
So tell us about Taz.
Came from severe shelter, I believe. Again, one of our local shelters that we bring kitties in from. He had some dental problems, and we pulled some teeth, so he does really well now. And this is one of our newer girls up here who came and is front declawed. So she has a little bit of pain that we are giving her, again, the laser treatment on her front paws and some pain meds.
And so, Delynn, tell us a little bit about, decline is really, really terrible for cats for a lot of reasons.
It causes a lot of left residual pain because they are removing the end. If my hand was her paws, they're removing these end sections.
Like down to the first knuckle.
Yeah. And so there can be retained nail things that'll keep growing inside. You can't even see. So we periodically get kitties who were declawed and then they're showing senses of being in pain or unhappy, because if you're in pain and you can't tell people where you're in pain, sometimes you say, I don't want to be your friend. But a little bit of pain medicine, getting some laser, and she's doing better. It's doing better.
So, Delynn, tell us how the laser works on declawed cats.
When I was doing laser regularly, the vet said to me, we don't really know how it works, but it's relieving pain. So we do it for arthritic kitties who have arthritis in parts of their body. You section off a portion of their body where you suspect the pain is, it's like a 2 or 3 minute treatment of moving a wand back and forth over them. You don't want me to tell about laser on your back? Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Aw.
And twice a week, and it promotes healing. We've also used it on wounds that aren't healing on their own.
Some of our mobility cats and the ones that have, like Hero, that has some sores, gets it too.
Yeah, skin issues.
Yeah, it's so cool because you hear about lasers being used to treat human conditions and using that and transferring that to how we relate to our animals who are really part of our family is one of the great things that we do here at Best Friends. And you know, just the cutting edge techniques and some of the medical cats that we have. It's very heartwarming to see how well they respond to this.
Yeah. And it's a portable machine, so we just bring it right into where they're living. They don't have to go in a carrier to a hospital that could be scary, or the clinic, you know, different. We just bring the machine right in here and set it up.
Because sometimes putting cats in carriers and taking them to the clinic is really stressful for them. And when you get stressed out, your immune system declines a bit. Yeah. And so, well, I think we've had a great tour of Cat World. I really want to thank Dylan, who's been with us for 8 years. And we're super grateful for everything that she does and her vast knowledge. And also for Pat, who's been here for about 3 years now, who's one of our team leads in Cat World. And we just have a really fantastic staff, fantastic caregivers. And we hope that this has connected you socially in these times of craziness in the rest of the world. And we really want you to know, please stay safe. Please be well at home. We all love you. We are grateful for you. We're grateful for your support, and we will get through this together. And it is a great time to foster or adopt. Thank you for joining us today.
Ivana really wants to say, take a kitty home.